announcement as well. He is properly physically distanced and masked up this morning, and he is our mystery candidate. Even with the mask on, I know who you are.
Well, it's good to be with you again, Todd.
Pat Dougherty joins us in the studio this morning. Pat, you're here with a very special announcement.
Yeah, Todd, I've decided that I'm going to throw my hat into the ring for the judicial nomination here in Indiana County. After being involved in the criminal justice system here for over 20 years, I believe my experience gives me a unique opportunity to serve the citizens of Indiana County moving forward. Having already served for almost 18 years as an assistant district attorney and then 8 years as the elected district attorney, I have that unique perspective. I've seen how the system works. I've helped craft a lot of the things that have gone on in the judicial system. So in my opinion, from day one, I would be able to jump right in and not miss a beat on the bench.
You have, of course, been on the other side of the bench for a lot of years, as you just said. And in terms of your experience to build up to this, you've seen a lot of judges in action, not only
Yes.
Indiana County Common Pleas Court judges, visiting judges, judges in other jurisdictions. Is Indiana County unique in any way, or is it basically operating the same way other counties operate?
Well, we operate the same way, but the one thing I will say that's unique about Indiana County is that we've had judges that are also very approachable, that are also very fair, and listen and follow the law. And that's all you can hope for, is a judge that we don't need activist judges. We don't need people that are going to write the laws. That's what the legislature's for. We need people that are going to take the law, interpret it, and follow it in a fair manner and give people their day in court. That's what it's about. And we have that here in Indiana County.
Other counties and other courts, higher courts as well, they don't necessarily view it that way.
Well, that's true. There are individuals that have their own judicial philosophies. Having been a district attorney, one of the things that the district attorney had to do was interpret the law and follow the law. We didn't write laws or make law. So I would take that same perspective to the bench that, the legislature is duly elected, and they do their job, and then it's the judiciary's job to apply that to the facts of each case and make decisions.
All of those years as a prosecutor in the Indiana County court system, and you also have worked on defense side of the equation. In fact, you're doing that now.
Sure.
Talk about how that balance happens when you're in the judge's seat.
Yeah. Well, the balance is this: is the individual's rights protected? I would often say, and I think I've said it to you, we have that document called the Constitution, that pesky document, right, that our forefathers created how many years ago? And the goal there is to make sure that each and every individual's rights are protected. Even the most heinous criminal has a right to a fair trial. And that's what a judge's job is primarily to do. It is to make sure and ensure that individuals get a fair shake in our judicial system and that the community can trust the outcomes of that. I decided I wanted to come back to Indiana County because this is where I grew up and this is where I'm from. The opportunity arose for me to be able to law clerk for their judges. At that time, it was Judge Martin and Judge Olson were our two common pleas judges. And I got firsthand experience from those two individuals how you write opinions, how you make decisions. And they were very good at giving their clerks leeway to help shape the opinions and draft those opinions. After that, I was able to join a firm here in Indiana with Mike Delaney. And I was with him, practicing law with him for 10 years. We did all kinds of different things. Civil law, real estate, adoption work. So I have a wide range of experience. I'm not just a criminal lawyer. But where I did a lot of my work was in the courtroom. The trial experience, and whether it's arguing an injunction, whether it's doing an adoption, whether it's fighting about a property line dispute. I've done all those things. And that has given me the perspective that, every individual deserves that opportunity to come to court and air their grievances. Mm-hmm. We hear all the time now about, they won't even hear my case. Well, the unique thing about the Common Pleas Court is if you file it, it gets heard. They don't have, you hear about the Supreme Court and they can turn down cases and so forth. Common Pleas Court doesn't get that option. Mm-hmm. You have to take it as it comes. So, as I've built up, and then obviously, Todd, the last 8 years as district attorney, you see how things work. And all the things that you may not even think about play a role with the system. For example, mental health. We have such a interplay with the mental health system because we don't want an individual to be put into for example, the criminal system if they're suffering from a mental health defect or a mental health disease. Same with drug abuse. We've seen that over the years. The rise of the drug treatment court and how we want to get people into treatment because we know that treatment works better than incarceration. And providing those opportunities for individuals to take responsibility and accountability and try to better themselves, that's also what the court has to be involved with.
People might have the idea that Court of Common Pleas is dealing only with criminal matters. Not the case.
Right. No, not the case at all. They handle every civil case, a contract dispute. You have a real estate dispute, a boundary line with your neighbor. You're fighting over where the fence goes. That comes to the Court of Common Pleas. Adoptions, estate challenges, children and youth services, dependency issues, if somebody's going to lose their children. Those all are in front of the Common Pleas Court. It is a court of general jurisdiction, which means they hear everything, all the way down to, appeals from zoning decisions on the local level. If you don't like what the zoning board did in Indiana Borough, you can take that to the Court of Common Pleas.
You have seen in all of your years decisions by some of our Common Pleas Court judges go to the higher court, generally Superior. Sometimes right. Commonwealth will make the ruling and that'll stand, but they can go Commonwealth to Superior, then all the way to Supreme Court. And there have been reversals. Yes. And you have seen how some of our judges have reacted when their decisions have been reversed.
Sure.
What impresses you about the way those judges have handled those, reacted to those, and how would you?
Well, number one, as a judge, you're also a human being, and you make the very best decision that you can based on the facts that you have in front of you. Mm-hmm. The appellate courts are there for a reason. And, obviously nobody goes into this and says, hey, I want to make the wrong decision. They go into this and say, I'm going to make the best decision given the facts that I have based on my knowledge of the law. What happens after it leaves here and goes to the appellate courts, now we're dealing with a panel of multiple judges, and sometimes they don't always agree on, the application of the law to the facts or the application of the law. Yeah. And so you can't take it personal. It's not supposed to, it's not about you as the judge. You make the best decision you can. The appellate court's there to do their job. And if they feel that the law should be interpreted a different way or the facts should be interpreted a different way, then so be it, and you move forward.
On the spring primary ballot, is Court of Common Pleas one of those that is eligible for cross-filing?
Yes, it is.
And will you?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm assuming the others who have declared already will as well. And so the campaign season will start. So given the opportunity to speak to the voters of Indiana County, what is your message? My
message is this, that having dedicated almost 20 years of my legal career to serving Indiana County, I would ask them to allow me to continue to serve in this capacity as a Court of Common Pleas judge. The decisions that our Court of Common Pleas judges make, they affect people's lives every day. Your neighbors' lives, your lives. And the Common Pleas judiciary is such an important role to our community that we want to have somebody, or we should have somebody, that has the unique experience to have worked on both sides of the criminal justice system, to have worked on the inside helping draft things. For example, one of my proudest achievements was right after the 2017 election, after I ran against Mike Clark for the Common Pleas seat. He and I got together, I was still the DA at the time, and we got together and said, we still need to do the Veterans Court. And he and I sat down together and worked and created the regulations and the plan for the Veterans Treatment Court that is up and running today, that is helping multiple veterans in Indiana County. And Judge Clark and I were able to work hand in hand on that and put any acrimony from the prior campaign aside. And we did it basically right away. We did not delay on getting that done. And so, you have to be able to do those type of things as a judge. And I believe I have the relationships with the court. I have the relationships with all the different agencies, whether it's the mental health community, the drug and alcohol community, our probation department. I have those relationships already made. So I'm able to start and get going on day one.
He is Pat Dougherty, announcing this morning his candidacy for Indiana County Court of Common Pleas. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.